In the early 20th century, a revolutionary from a small town in the Russian Empire would rise to become one of the most powerful leaders in the world. His name was Joseph Stalin. For nearly 3 decades, Stalin ruled the Soviet Union with absolute authority. Under his leadership, the Soviet Union transformed from a largely rural nation into a powerful industrial state. But his rule also brought immense hardship and fear. Understanding Stalin's rise to power reveals one of the most dramatic and controversial chapters in modern history. Joseph Stalin was born in 1878 in the town of Gori, located in present-day Georgia. At the time, the region was part of the vast Russian Empire. Stalin's birth name was Iosif Yugashvili. His father worked as a shoemaker, while his mother hoped her son would become a priest. As a young student, Stalin attended a religious seminary, but instead of focusing on religious studies, he became interested in revolutionary political ideas. These ideas were spreading across the Russian Empire as many people grew frustrated with the rule of the Tsar. Eventually, Stalin was expelled from the seminary and became deeply involved in underground revolutionary movements. During the early 1900s, Stalin joined the Bolshevik faction of the Russian revolutionary movement. The group was led by Vladimir Lenin. The Bolsheviks believed that a workers' revolution could overthrow the existing government and establish a socialist state. Stalin played an active role in the movement. He organized strikes, distributed propaganda, and helped raise money for the party. Because of his activities, he was arrested multiple times by the authorities and exiled to remote regions of Siberia. Despite these setbacks, Stalin continued working for the Bolsheviks. In 1917, the Russian Empire collapsed during a period of political upheaval and war. The Bolsheviks seized power in what became known as the Russian Revolution. Lenin emerged as the leader of the new Soviet government. Stalin, though not as famous as some revolutionary figures, proved to be a loyal and effective organizer within the party. Over the following years, he gained increasing influence inside the government and the Communist Party. When Lenin died in 1924, a struggle for leadership began inside the Soviet government. Several prominent figures competed for power. One of Stalin's most significant rivals was Leon Trotsky. While Trotsky was widely known and respected, Stalin held a powerful position within the Communist Party as General Secretary. This role allowed him to appoint allies to key positions throughout the government. Gradually, Stalin outmaneuvered his rivals. By the late 1920s, he had effectively consolidated power and become the dominant leader of the Soviet Union. Once in control, Stalin launched a series of ambitious economic programs designed to rapidly transform the Soviet economy. These policies included massive industrial projects and the collectivization of agriculture. Factories were built across the country, and production of steel, coal, and machinery increased dramatically. Within a relatively short time, the Soviet Union became one of the world's major industrial powers. However, these changes came at an enormous cost. Many people suffered under the harsh economic policies and strict government control. In 1941, the Soviet Union faced one of the greatest challenges in its history. Nazi Germany launched a massive invasion of Soviet territory. The war that followed became one of the largest and most destructive conflicts in history. Under Stalin's leadership, the Soviet Union mobilized its resources for total war. After years of intense fighting, Soviet forces eventually pushed back the invading armies. The Soviet victory played a decisive role in the defeat of Nazi Germany during World War II. By the end of the war, the Soviet Union had emerged as one of the world's 2 major superpowers. Joseph Stalin remained in power until his death in 1953. During his rule, the Soviet Union expanded its influence across Eastern Europe and became a central player in global politics. However, Stalin's leadership remains one of the most debated periods in modern history. His policies transformed the Soviet Union into a powerful state, yet they also caused immense suffering. Even decades later, historians continue to study Stalin's rule to understand its lasting impact on the world. The rise and fall of Joseph Stalin remains one of the most significant and complex stories of the 20th century.